Trump says things that get people hurt. When he talked about liberating Michigan, what happened? Gretchen Whitmer, the governor of Michigan, they tried to kidnap her. There's a plot to try to kidnap her. Every time he says something that's just 5 seconds, inflammatory statements like that. What happened when we have January 6th? It's because Donald Trump opened his big mouth and wouldn't shut up. And I wish at some point, Congressman, you would at least have the courage to stand up to your dear leader and tell him when he's doing wrong.
Are we going to talk
just apologize for him.
Now about the rhetoric?
Don't just apologize for him.
Are we going to talk about the rhetoric directed at Donald Trump? Because we do realize that he's been trying to kill.
Are you going to continue to try not to answer the question? So you're not going to answer what I just said?
Hang on one second. Let's talk about that. Let's actually talk about rhetoric, because here's what Trump supporters have been saying.
People hear this violent, dangerous rhetoric, and we're going to have a copycat. It's coming. And it's just unfortunate. Somebody's going to get killed.
I'd say that's pretty strong evidence that the left needs to tone down the rhetoric and needs to cut this crap out. Somebody's going to get hurt by it.
It works when we see the liberal elite literally trying to take out a political opponent. Now, do they cause it? Absolutely, they contribute to it. They're complicit with it because of their words.
So according to those gentlemen there, saying that Trump is a threat to democracy is violent rhetoric, but Trump saying, let's just have one really violent day, that is not violent rhetoric?
No, he didn't say one violent day. That's not even what he said. But let's be honest about what he actually said.
Play it again.
Trump again. Play it again, because he didn't even say that. But go ahead.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. We got to talk about this wild CNN panel featuring Byron Donalds, Abby Phillip, and Keith Boykin. Now, Keith Boykin is an extremely moist black liberal who's going to blow a gasket on Byron Donalds because he believes that Byron Donalds is lying about crime being on the rise under the Biden administration, which is actually factually true, right? Crime is up, okay? Do not let these liberals in the mainstream media gaslight you the same way that they gaslighted us on the economy, right? Y'all remember when Janet Yellen was out here talking about how inflation is transitory, right? Turns out inflation was not transitory, right? You guys remember when we went into a recession and then the liberal economists came out and said, hey, we got to change the definition of a recession because we don't want to say that a recession happened under the Biden administration. You guys remember when they was telling us that the border is secure, right? And that illegal immigration was not an issue, right? That they had it under control, okay? Except that's not the case, right? And currently we're dealing with gangs from Venezuela taking over whole buildings across the country in multiple cities. You guys remember all that? Now they're trying to tell us that crime is down. Crime is down, despite the fact that when you talk to people from liberal cities like New York, like I have, for example, they'll tell you, yeah, we don't ride the subway. I don't go into the city because the city is too dangerous, right? The city is so dangerous that they avoid it at all costs, okay? I mean, New York City themselves, they were telling us crime is down while at the same time sending the National Guard into the subway, which, you know, when Trump suggested using the National Guard to help with crime, they said, oh no, that's racist, right? You can't do that. Until Democrats decided that it was a good idea to use the National Guard to deal with crime, right? It's funny how that works, okay? Crime is down, but yet they are taking measures that are unprecedented in order to stop the crime. But no, you don't understand. Crime is down. There's a reason why people feel like crime is up is because crime is actually up, okay? We all know what's happening. The government is cooking the books like they always do when it doesn't fit the narrative of the Democrats, like they did with the economy, like they did with immigration, and like they're doing right now with crime, right? That's exactly what's happening. But yet, again, they're trying to gaslight the American people once again and try to tell you that the reality that we are all feeling is not real. So without further ado, let's get into this.
All these stores go out of business, right? They don't pay rent. The city doesn't have money. It's a chain of events that's so bad. One rough hour, and I mean real rough, the word will get out and it will end immediately. End immediately. You know?
How is that not violent rhetoric?
You know what's amazing about this, right? What's amazing is that CNN lied, right? They just flat out lied about what Trump said. They said that, well, Trump called for a violent day. No, that's not what Trump called for at all. What Trump was talking about is these criminals that are out of control, that are destroying these liberal cities that, you know, CNN doesn't want to acknowledge as real, okay? But it is most certainly real. We've covered a ton of these stories. Trump is saying the exact same thing that I've been saying, which is that, yeah, we need police to get tougher on the criminals, right? If you actually, allow the police to rough up the criminals to do their jobs, maybe the criminals would stop committing crimes, right? Maybe we stop simping for these criminals, right, that are destroying the rest of society, that is making it harder for law-abiding citizens to get opportunities to work jobs because you have these criminals stealing so much that businesses can't operate. Maybe if you start actually punishing these individuals, which again should include the police being able to, rough them up a little bit, right? And also harsher punishments when they are caught and charged and found guilty. Yeah, maybe, just maybe, that will stop the criminals from committing all these crimes, right? What Trump is talking about is common sense. I 100% agree with him, okay? 100%. And guess what? For anybody that's worried about this, okay, they're worried about the police and what they might do, you shouldn't worry if you're not a criminal, right? If you're not out here committing crimes, okay, if you're a law-abiding citizen, there's a 99.99999% chance you will never have to worry about it, right? You'll never have to worry about it. So what Trump is saying is correct, okay? We have to get tougher on crime, and it starts with getting tougher on the criminals and allowing police to do their jobs. I know that it doesn't sound pretty, right? That the liberals don't like it, okay? But that's reality, okay? I live in reality. I don't live in cuckoo for Cocoa Puff land, okay? In countries with the lowest crime rates, guess what? They are extremely harsh and tough on the criminals, okay? And you don't have the citizens of that society sitting around boohoo, whining, and crying about a criminal getting roughed up after he gets caught stealing, okay? So, yeah.
We have to acknowledge the reality going on in every city in America.
Not answering the question.
Crime is mass.
Not answering the question.
That is answering the question. Because the reality in America, hold on, Keith, the reality in America is that crime is massively up.
Crime is not massively up. That's a lie.
You can bang the table all you want, but
you're
that's
lying,
not true.
Congressman. You're lying.
We already know that there are cities.
The FBI just released data this week that crime is going down.
You already know that.
Oh my God! Abby, why do you let this man lie on your national television like this?
I'm telling you the exact
truth. This is not right.
You may not
You're a liar,
you may not.
Congressman.
No, I'm
You're
not.
lying.
Because you're lying to the American people
If
now.
you would let
and
me
so I want to be
talk,
respectful of what you're trying to say.
Hang on a second.
Go
If
ahead.
you would just let me
Go ahead.
talk, I will explain exactly what you want me to explain. We have the data. The FBI literally put out data today showing that crime is down this year for the first 6 months of the year. But look at the trend line. Okay, crime is in all these different categories. And then there is a trend line that shows that crime is going down. So why do you continue to say that?
Now, here's the thing. If you believe this, you're a damn fool, right? You are a damn fool if you believe this. And I'm going to tell you why, for multiple reasons, okay? We've already talked about the main reason, which is that these numbers are probably inaccurate, okay, for multiple reasons, okay? We all know that some of these jurisdictions, their numbers are probably not super accurate considering how they have a police shortage. So a lot of the crime that is happening is not even being reported to the police. It's not being reported to the police at all. And then on top of that, when you talk about the data from this year, well, that data is incomplete, right? Like that's incomplete data, okay? All the jurisdictions have not reported that data. That is the data that they have received up until today, right? Or in the last 6 months or whatever, right? But again, that's not complete, okay? Because we all know what they do, okay, is a year from now in 2025, okay, when nobody cares anymore, they will come out and quietly revise the report and say, hey, well, we collected all the data, right? And yeah, crime actually was up, right? Crime was up. That's what happens every single time. Like, for example, the Biden job report from 2023. You guys remember throughout all of 2023, they was telling us how great the economy is because of Biden's amazing job numbers, right? Then come to find out, just a year later, that the numbers were cooked, right? The numbers were wrong, okay? I mean, we're talking about upwards of 1 million jobs that were fake, right? That were not accurate numbers, okay? So that's what happens. When you are relying on these numbers that are incomplete, and in some cases just completely cooked in favor of the Democrats and their narrative, especially going into this election, well, yeah, this is what you get. What you get is a year from now, they will quietly acknowledge that, hey, we were wrong, right? But see, at the time right now, they'll tell you that you're lying if you say that crime is up. Again, I've talked to so many people, again, particularly from New York City. They're saying crime, it feels like it felt in the 80s, right? In the 90s, the early 90s before Rudy Giuliani came in and cleaned it up, right? This is what they're saying. So don't sit here and try to tell me how crime is down when people are saying, yeah, it feels like the worst crime is happening in New York City in over 3 decades, right? This is what they're saying, okay? clearly there's something wrong. Clearly there's a disconnect between the people and what they're going through versus the government statistics, right? And instead of doing some journalism and figuring out why is there a disconnect between what the people are feeling versus what the government is reporting, no. They just dismiss what people feel as just incorrect. It's just wrong. The government is the arbiter of truth, right? Not the people, not how you feel, okay? And we actually do have other reference points here that can tell a different story about crime, okay, and how people feel. Like, for example, the National Criminal Victimization Report, right, clearly shows violent crime reported to police spiking, right? It clearly shows total violent crime victimization spiking, particularly after the pandemic, right? So just because you have a small little decline, right, for 1 year doesn't mean that crime is down, right? It might mean that crime is slightly down from the year before, but it's still higher than it was before the pandemic began. So again, these people, they really are kind of cherry picking, right, the reference points and the time frames that they want to use for comparison purposes, simply to push a narrative to protect Democrats.
I do think, though, in some
I'll let you get in, but I do want the congressman to answer that question.
If you look at crime rates in the United States since the pandemic to this current point, this current period in time, crime is up.
Okay,
over the years, crime is up. Violent crime is up.
Look at the chart.
I'm looking right now.
Okay?
I'm looking right now.
Crime is on its way down. It has not returned to pre-pandemic levels yet, but it is trending down. That is a fact.
I'm looking at your chart right now. 2021 is when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris came into office. Look at that spike up in violent crime. Well, Donald Trump.
Do you see where it went after 2021?
Abby, this is important. This is important.
I don't understand.
This is really important.
No, crime is going down. And
put the chart back up. Put the chart back up.
Put it back up. Crime. Look at where it's going.
2021, which is when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris came into office in 2021.
Okay.
The trend line is up for violent crime in the United States of America.
And you know what?
That is an empirical fact.
I'm not going to sit
That's
here
your
and let
chart.
this
It's not even
man-
mine. I just saw it for the first time. I just saw the chart.
I'm not going to sit here and let him lie on that television.
No. Wait 1 second, because we have to. Hold on.
It's not silly when people.
We have to, Congressman,
and I'm sorry.
just give me
I'm sorry,
1 second,
Abby.
please.
Go ahead. Of course.
We have to
Absolutely.
deal in facts here.
Thank you.
Okay? It's clear as day. The FBI put out statistics for the first half of this year.
Yeah.
The trend lines are going down in all of those different categories: murders, rapes, robberies, property crime, aggravated assaults. For 2023, the trend line is going down. If you don't believe the FBI, independent people who look at these numbers say the same thing. There was a spike in crime during the pandemic. That is true. Nobody's disputing that. But the reality is that crime is going down. You don't have to twist the facts to make the case that people feel unsafe. Just say people feel unsafe.
Well, this is crazy because she's literally twisting the facts in order to make the case that people feeling unsafe is wrong, right? That people feeling like crime being up is wrong, right? Like they're wrong to feel that way. That's what they're doing. Okay, it's just so funny to me because, again, this is why I really don't like this show, right? I like the concept of the show. I like the fact that Abby Phillip wants to have people from across the aisle debate each other, right, and to discuss the issues. But yet she, as a journalist, needs to keep her opinion out of the conversation, right? She's sticking her opinion in the conversation and trying to present it as if it is factual without adding proper context to the fact that, hey, when you talk about crime from 2022 to 2023, okay, it might be down a little bit, a tiny bit, okay? But when you look at the reference point of where crime was at before the pandemic, okay, and now, clearly there's a trend up, right? I mean, that's an undisputable fact, okay, based off their own chart. Now, if you want to say crime is down, trending down from 2022, then if you want to say that, okay, that's a different statement. But to just say that crime is down, and if you say any differently, then you're wrong, that's just nonsense because, again, it depends on what your frame of reference is. If your frame of reference is crime before the pandemic versus crime now, then clearly crime is going up, right? And hell, we haven't had a long enough period to really come to any definitive conclusion about whether or not crime is actually coming down, considering how much it is spiked. Also considering how much there are legitimate reasons to question the numbers that we're getting from the government. So I think that it will be wise to probably wait, right? Let's wait a few years and let these numbers really settle, right? Before we can come out here and say definitively that crime is coming down. But again, they want to say that so badly before the election because it's hurting Democrats, especially at the local level, right? A lot of people are backlashing against the Democrats in these liberal cities because of crime being out of control, right? The American people feel this way for a reason. They're not just saying this because Democrats are in charge. No, they're saying it because this is their reality. This is the reality that people are living in. But clearly, the government numbers aren't reflecting that reality, just like it wasn't reflecting that reality when it comes to the economy. But hey, if Democrats want to continue to gaslight people and lie to the American people about what they're feeling, hey, that's fine by me. I'm totally cool with it, right? Keep saying that crime is down. Keep saying that the economy is great. Keep saying that the border is secure. Keep saying all these things, right? Continue to gaslight and to lie to the American people and tell them that their feelings are wrong, right? That's a great way to win an election.
I'm not even twisting the facts. You put up a chart. I just looked at the chart myself. The bottom line was from 2021. Well, what happened in 2021? Joe Biden and Kamala Harris came into office. This is when Democrat politicians were all the rage for defund the police.
This had nothing to do with that.
Can I finish my point, Keith? Because I let you speak. No, but you can't.
You really did not. You monopolized the
because
entire conversation for the most part.
Keith, you yelled across the table, didn't even let me
because
make
you
my
lied.
point. I'm not lying. I'm telling you the truth. You don't want to hear the truth.
right.
That's the problem.
The truth is up there on the
The problem
screen,
is you don't want to hear the
Congressman.
truth.
Let me let you finish your thought,
All I'm saying is similar.
I don't even know why you have him on stage tonight.
Similar to inflation, because I'm bringing facts to you.
Because you're lying.
Because similar
Keith, just
to
give me a
inflation,
second, please.
in 2024, the trend lines are coming down slowly. But that ignores the reality of 2021, 2022, 2023. You know what the American people are concerned about, which Donald Trump is speaking to? Massive inflation brought to us by Joe Biden and Kamala
Not
Harris.
true.
It is very
Not
true.
true.
Even Larry Summers said it. You can
Not
interrupt
true.
all you want, but it's the facts. I was in the House. You were not. I know exactly what happened.
I know what you were doing in the House,
But again, I'm going to move on.
Keith,
Hang
please let him
tight,
finish.
Keith. I'm going to finish.
Thank you.
You have massive inflation created by Joe Biden and Kamala
Not
Harris.
true.
The same chart you just put up, 2021 through 2023, crime rates going up, and then slowly tapering off in 2024. And then we're supposed to sit here and act like, oh, happy days are here again because the trend lines are going down. The trend lines over the last 4 years are massively up. That's what Donald Trump is speaking to, and that's why the American people have serious issues about what's going on in America.
But I will say this. The trend lines are not just going down, but the crime is going back to very close to what it was before the pandemic.
Yeah. So again, this is what you have here, right? You have the ultimate gaslighting. Okay. So yeah, let's have a huge spike in crime. Okay. A historic spike, really. Oh, well, it went down a little bit, right? The next year. Therefore, crime is going down, right? It's not a problem anymore. Let's stop talking about it. This is what they're trying to do. Okay. And Keith Boykin, this clown right here, dumbest guy on television. Okay. I'm so serious. This is the same guy that said that burning the American flag is patriotic, right? That is patriotic behavior. This guy should never be invited on any panel on national television. The fact that guys like this can get on national television, if this dude was white, he would never get on national television. Let's keep it 100, okay? This is affirmative action right here in front of your face, okay? This is exactly the results. You get guys like this on television who have no clue whatsoever what they're talking about, who should not be in front of anybody's television screen talking about politics, okay? But, you know, this is the world that we live in. These are the guests that Abby Phillip is inviting on her show to lie to the American people. Oh, not true. Not true that inflation was caused by Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Well, we know for a fact that it was. It definitely was. Democrat policies, overspending, lockdowns definitely contributed heavily to inflation. But again, the Democrats are at the point now where reality denialism is basically a platform in the Democrat Party, right? Whatever the people say is happening is not actually happening because it's so bad, right? The people are saying that things are so bad that the Democrats now default to, no, well, that can't be right? That's not true. Let's just deny the reality that people are experiencing. So, hey, if this is what they want to do, right? If this is the strategy going into the election, I'm fine with that, right? Democrats continue to deny reality, continue to tell people that their feelings aren't legitimate, continue to gaslight, continue to lie, continue to do it, right? I'm sure that will work out well for you come time for people to vote, right? But we'll see. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.